Hey there, everybody. Thomas with Basecamp Trading. It is Thursday, October 24th, and today I want to take a look at kind of the main thing that we're paying attention to with the indices here, because we have kind of pending setups here, and this is what we're watching for longer term trades in regards to the stock market as a whole. And before I dive into the details, though, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so that you can stay up to date on all the latest videos coming here from Basecamp Trading. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. Starting off with the S&P. So the first thing that we're really paying attention to, if you look at the S&P, all the markets, all the indices have been in compression for several months now. Okay, but if you look at the S&P, for example, we have a really well-defined pennant pattern. We have higher lows, but we also have lower highs. And one of the big things that we're paying attention to, though, is that we were trending higher. We were going higher highs, higher lows, but we paused, put in that lower high a few weeks ago and pulled back. But I want you to notice that we have long bottoming tails here, and that every time that we have a downswing, we're staying higher than the last time we have a downswing. Okay, so that tells us it's just consolidation within the context of an overall upward moving market. That's why I'm still a long-term bull in the indices. And if you've been in the trading room with me, you know I've been talking about this for a while now. But first off, the S&P, you can see the pennant pattern here. And then we'll go look at the Dow, for example. And you see the same thing happening here in the Dow. And these are, by the way, weekly price charts. And you see nice, well-defined pennant pattern. And then you notice also as well, every time we sell off, we put in a higher low. So we're continuing to put in higher lows. Even though we do have the lower high, the overall trend was up. So this is just compression within the context of an overall upward trending market. Then we can go and we'll take a look at the Russell. Here's a Russell. You see the same type of thing happening. Now the Russell, not quite as strong as the other indices. We're more just in compression inside of a pennant, but we have a well-defined trend line going across our highs and up and across our lows. And we're putting in a higher low now to potentially go up and break out to the upside to a higher high because we do have strengthening momentum. So we have a pennant pattern in the S&P, pennant pattern in Dow, pennant pattern in Russell. Let's go take a look at our Nasdaq here. So with the Nasdaq, we actually do not have the pennant, all right, because, well, we did, but we've now broken out of it. And what we're doing is we're stalling right against the previous pivot high. And we talk about this a lot. For those of you that are a member at Basecamp, you've been through Naked Trading Mastery because it's included with your membership. One of the things we talk about is when you break that trend line, your first test is, can you get through the previous pivot high? And so far it's been stalling there. However, I expect this to break and to start to run. Okay, so again, I have a bullish bias. We have strengthening upside momentum, weakening downside momentum. You can see every single downswing is getting weaker than the last one, and our two most recent upswings are getting stronger. So we have overall a bullish bias here with overall strengthening momentum. So I do expect the indices to climb, and I am looking forward to break out of the pennant. And one of the things that I'm paying attention to from a fundamental standpoint is still staying glued to the news in regards to a trade deal with China. Once we get a trade deal with China, I would expect these markets really to rip. So be keeping an eye out for that. It's all the things I'm paying attention to. That's what we're watching here for longer term indices and index futures. Now, with that being said, I'm not fully risk on because we're still in a very volatile market environment. I still, for those of you that follow, when I talk about my longer term portfolio, I still have offsetting positions in gold. I'm still long gold and I'm long bonds, and I have been for months and months and months now. Holding on to them just as a hedge, as a risk off, taking a little bit of risk out of the market itself. So this has been playing out. I'm still holding on to them now, but that's it for today. I hope it helps. Again, be paying attention to the indices here, watching for these longer term up moves and for these markets to really pick up some steam to the upside over the next coming couple of weeks. But that's it for now. See you in the next one. Once more, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, everybody, happy trading.